Imagine walking into a conversation thinking everything is normal, while the other person is secretly controlling your emotions, your thoughts, and even your decisions without you realizing it. Sounds terrifying, right? But here's the scary part. Dark psychology tactics are used every single day by toxic partners, manipulative friends, scammers, influencers, even corporations. And most people never notice it happening until it's too late. Today, we're exposing the hidden psychology tricks manipulators use to control people. And by the end of this video, you'll start noticing these tactics everywhere. Because once you see them, you can't unsee them. Dark psychology is the study of manipulation, persuasion, deception, and influence used to control others for personal gain. Now, psychology itself isn't evil. Psychology helps us understand human behavior. But dark psychology twists that knowledge into something dangerous. It's about exploiting emotions, creating dependency, breaking confidence, and influencing people without their awareness. Manipulators understand one powerful truth. Human beings are emotional before they are logical, and if someone controls your emotions, they can often control your decisions. That's why some of the most dangerous manipulators appear charming, confident, and trustworthy at first. They don't force control, they create it slowly. One of the most common dark psychology tactics is called love bombing. This happens when someone overwhelms you with affection, attention, compliments, and validation very early. They text constantly, call you perfect, act like your soulmates after a few days. At first, it feels amazing. But here's the truth. Love bombing is often not about love. It's about control. The manipulator creates emotional dependency fast, so you become attached before seeing the red flags. And once you're emotionally invested, their behavior suddenly changes. The affection disappears, the criticism starts, the manipulation begins, and now you chase the version of them from the beginning. That emotional roller coaster keeps people trapped for months, sometimes years. Now let's talk about one of the most dangerous manipulation tactics ever created: gaslighting. Gaslighting is when someone manipulates you into doubting your own memory, emotions, or sanity. For example, you confront them about something hurtful they said, and instead of apologizing, they say, "That never happened. You're too sensitive. You're imagining things." Over time, the victim starts questioning themselves, and that's the goal. Because confused people are easier to control, gaslighting slowly destroys confidence until the victim depends on the manipulator for what is real. And the scariest part, gaslighting often happens so gradually that victims don't realize it until they're deeply trapped. Another brutal tactic manipulators use is silence. Not normal silence, weaponized silence. The silent treatment is psychological punishment. Instead of communicating, the manipulator ignores you completely. No texts, no calls, cold behavior. Why? Because humans naturally fear rejection and emotional disconnection. Manipulators know this, so they use silence to create anxiety and force the other person to chase approval. And once the victim apologizes or gives in, the manipulator regains control. It's emotional conditioning. Have you ever met someone who seemed almost too perfect for you? They like all the same music, share the same opinions, have the same goals. That might not be coincidence. It could be mirroring. Mirroring is when manipulators copy your personality, interests, body language, and beliefs to create instant trust. People naturally trust those who seem similar to them. That's why skilled manipulators study people carefully. They become whatever the target wants to see. And by the time the victim realizes the personality was fake, the emotional attachment is already strong. The strongest manipulators don't control your strengths. They control your fears. They identify insecurities, then quietly exploit them. If someone fears abandonment, they threaten distance. If someone lacks confidence, they give validation, then remove it. This creates emotional dependence. And once someone depends on another person emotionally, manipulation becomes much easier. That's why toxic relationships often feel addictive. The brain becomes trapped in cycles of reward and punishment. And psychologically, those cycles can be incredibly difficult to escape. So how do you protect yourself from dark psychology? First, slow down emotionally. Manipulators succeed when people react emotionally instead of thinking logically. Second, pay attention to patterns, not words. Anyone can say they care. Behavior reveals the truth. Third, trust discomfort. If something feels manipulative, controlling, or emotionally exhausting, don't ignore that feeling. And finally, set boundaries. Healthy people respect boundaries. Manipulators hate them. The moment someone becomes angry because you said no, you learn everything you need to know. Dark psychology exists because human emotions can be predictable, and manipulators understand that better than most people do. But now, you understand it too. The difference between manipulation and protection is awareness, because once you recognize these tactics, they lose power over you. So the next time someone tries to control your emotions, distort your reality, or manipulate your trust, you'll see it coming. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe for more psychology, mystery, and human behavior content. And comment below, what's the most manipulative tactic you've ever seen someone use? Because some stories are honestly terrifying.